Imagine you are a police officer. You have apprehended a terrorist who has confessed to planting a bomb somewhere in your city. However, he refuses to disclose the location of the bomb. Being a police officer, you try various methods to find out the location of the bomb. You start by asking him politely, but the man doesn't respond to gentle persuasion. Then you start to rough him up a bit, but he still doesn't speak. Then an evil idea crosses your mind. You remember that the terrorist has a young child, and as ruthless as he may be, he is quite sensitive towards his child. You realize that if you were to torture his child, the terrorist would not be able to withstand it and would reveal the location of the bomb to you. Thus, you would save the lives of hundreds of people. But would you torture an innocent child for this? According to some philosophers, the answer to this dilemma is quite clear. These philosophers choose to torture the child. Yes, torturing an innocent child is terrible. But isn't it worse if hundreds of people die in a bomb explosion? When we compare these two situations, isn't the more beneficial option for humanity obvious? Even though torturing a child is against moral principles, it is an action that is more beneficial to humanity for philosophers who ask such questions to themselves. This view advocated by these philosophers is known as utilitarian ethics. Utilitarian moral philosophy generally has two rules. The first of these is as follows. In general, there is no harm in harming a small number of people if it will benefit the majority. Yes, I will talk about Batman a lot on this channel because I love him so much, and it has a story with quite philosophical depth. But the philosophers who come up with utilitarian morality probably hate Batman. So why does a conscientious hero like Batman, who is devoted to goodness, conflict with the utilitarian sense of morality? Because Batman never kills. Misunderstandings aside, utilitarian morality does not advocate killing someone. However, according to this philosophy, killing someone is necessary if it will save the lives of others. Although it seems against Batman's principles to kill the Joker, let's admit that the Joker's death will be very beneficial to humanity. If Batman had killed the Joker, all the people the Joker killed, the traumas he caused, and the chaos he created would not have happened. The question then arises, isn't Batman responsible for these terrible events? Didn't Batman contribute to these evils to some extent by sparing the Joker's life? After all, Batman had countless opportunities to kill the Joker. However, Batman never considered killing the Joker. Maybe utilitarian morality is not openly discussed in Batman movies, but in the cartoon, we see Batman realize something. The second rule of utilitarian morality is this.
All the people I've murdered by letting you live.
The action that provides the greatest benefit to the greatest number of people is the best action. So what exactly do we mean by good here? According to utilitarian ethics, the definition of good is quite clear. Good means happiness. John Stuart Mill, one of the representatives of this philosophy, says that actions are right to the extent that they promote happiness, and wrong to the extent that they produce unhappiness. So what do we understand from happiness? Another representative of this philosophy, Jeremy Bentham, defines happiness as the absence of pain and the presence of pleasure. He says the further away you are from pain and closer to pleasure, the happier you will be. This is the purpose of utilitarian morality. While achieving this goal, he tries to make most people happy and does not hesitate to make some people unhappy. Now let's look at this philosophy with a critical eye. Another criticism of this philosophy is that it is quite difficult to apply it in real life. Going back to the example I gave at the beginning of the video, would those who choose to torture the child still choose to torture the child when they encounter such a scenario in real life? Although it may seem logical to choose to torture a child in such a situation, let's be honest, we humans generally act with our emotions, not our minds and logic.